Ladies and gentlemen, here we are fresh off of the Galaxy Unpacked event. And if you guys are like me, most of you didn't watch it. I mean, I tuned into it for maybe a couple minutes, and then it gets kind of boring because they start talking about all the AI features and how useful it can be to you. So then I kind of closed that video and I went and looked at all the different thumbnails and titles that other creators had come up with for their videos. And I had watched one video and it was MKBHD's video. But even before I had watched his video, I went on the Samsung Shop app on my S25 Ultra and looked at the S26 Ultra and the trade-in. So that's what we're going to do right now. A lot of thoughts to unpack. Galaxy Unpacked. So this video may get kind of ranty. My opinions may be different from other reviewers, but this is just how I feel when I saw this. And so, quite frankly, I'm just like, what the hell, Samsung? Have you guys lost your mind this year? Right? Okay, so let's take a look. We're going to start off here. This would be how I personally would purchase mine. So unlocked, right? So I tick that. Then we go down to the storage options. No storage upgrade this year. And I double checked. I had like closed out of the Samsung Shop app and I went back in, tried it again. It's the same. And then here we are taking a look at it in the browser. It's the same thing. No storage upgrade this year. That's a big what the hell. Like, have you guys like lost it? So same storage options as last year. Not surprising. So the phone starts at $1,300. Okay, the standard S26 and the S26 Plus got a $100 price increase. So now the S26 is $900 and the Plus is $1,100. So it makes me wonder where or if the S26 Edge is going to slot into the pricing. Are they literally going to price it the same as the S26 Plus? I don't see that flying over too well, considering how the S25 Edge pricing kind of got bashed. But yeah, $1,300 for the S26 Ultra 256, $1,500 for the 512 gig, $1,800 for the 1 terabyte. And I haven't confirmed, but usually the 1 terabyte has 16 gigs of RAM. So I'm just going to assume that this year, although again, I haven't confirmed. New colors this year. The silver shadow, that looks nice. The pink gold, right? If you're into that. The sky blue looks pretty nice. And then just white and black. So a couple new color options this year. Whoops, I accidentally clicked on that. So this is year after year per usual stuff, new colors. Also, let's take a look at the, did I leave out Cobalt Violet? Did I say that one? But yeah, it's a new color too, Cobalt Violet. The silver shadow looks nice, and I'm not sure if this will come through good on the video, but with the design this year, there's kind of a camera plateau that the cameras sit upon instead of just being each individual camera module. So if you guys kind of look around the camera lenses there, you can see the plateau that it kind of, so very minimal change in design, which is to be expected. And I know some people, may go to the comments and say, what did you expect? It's a year-over-year upgrade. So there you guys can see more of the little plateau that those cameras set on now. Some people may go to the comments and say, what do you expect? It's a year-over-year upgrade. And I definitely understand that year-over-year. But Samsung has been so stagnant now for what seems like half a decade, right? 5 years. And I would even go as far as to say, if you have an S23 Ultra, you might could even skip this upgrade unless you're just really interested in the new privacy display, which, I can't demonstrate that right now. But basically, instead of having to have a privacy screen protector now, so if you're viewing your phone straight on, it looks normal to you, but to people around you off axis, your screen will look very dim and almost black if you have a privacy screen protector. Now that's baked into only the Ultra series. It's a software feature. I think they're just labeling it privacy display. So and it's more customizable, and there shouldn't be any issues with like screen dimming since it's a software feature. So that's pretty neat. And the only other really noteworthy change with the Ultras this year is 60-watt wired charging. That doesn't really matter to me because, you have power banks if you're on the go. People charge their phones in their car. Faster is faster, but you can charge your phone almost anywhere nowadays. And for me personally, I just leave mine charging overnight. I have a routine that kind of stops my phone charging at 80%. And then after sunrise, it will charge up to 100% and go back to basic battery protection. So yeah, new colors, no increase in the battery size, still 5,000, right? So nothing there. That's been the same forever also. So just very stagnant, 60-watt charging, no Qi 2. That's a mark I feel like Samsung really missed. You know, you're going to see videos of like people who try to portray like, oh, here's the biggest changes, but really the biggest noteworthy change is going to be the privacy display. I think the primary camera and the telephoto have wider apertures now, which of course is nice, but it's the same sensor. I know it's not worth the year-over-year upgrade, but even if you have an S24 Ultra, I definitely couldn't recommend the upgrade. There was no mention about brighter displays, any increase to maximum brightness, which is definitely a bummer because the Pixel 9 series phones and the Pixel 10 series are very, very bright displays. And, you know, I definitely want that on a Galaxy, right? I want that super, super bright display. Very, very punchy on the Pixel devices if you guys haven't seen those. So, yeah, just wider apertures on the camera, 60-watt wired charging, the privacy display feature. They have, you know, again, a big push on AI this year. Apparently, they're trying to bring some AI features over from the Pixel to the Galaxy, which is nice, but I'm kind of the opinion that a lot of the AI just doesn't seamlessly integrate into the average person's life. You know, they show all this at the beginning of the Unpacked event, they were talking about the Now brief, and I'm sitting here thinking, you know, this is only really useful if you're like a super busy person and you have tons of stuff scheduled and you have to be here at this time or there at that time, right? Just it doesn't seem like the AI really integrates that seamlessly like they want us to think. It seems like every year it gets worse and worse. No storage upgrade, free storage upgrade this year. Trade-in values, I mean, it's decent. You know, the S24 Ultra, they're giving $800. So here we are, $800 for the S24 Ultra, which I mean, I guess is pretty decent. But if we go in here and we look at the S25 Ultra, they are giving $100 more. But the way I look at it is I have the 512 gig version of the S25 Ultra, so I would literally be paying $600 to upgrade to the same storage model, right? Which just definitely isn't worth it. Let's go back down here and take a look at like an S23 Ultra. So for an S23 Ultra, they're going to give $650. That seems, I mean, is that decent? I mean, they're giving $150 more if you have a 24 Ultra. Let's go up here. Let's see what it is for the 512. So $850, maybe. I don't know. I would tell someone they could probably go another year. So yeah, that's pretty much all of my thoughts on the Galaxy phones. I usually don't take a look at the standard S26 or the Plus, but yeah, another year where it's even more stagnant. But when are we as reviewers, right, in the big channels, when are we finally going to be like, okay, Samsung, you need to climb off your high horse. You need to change the design. Come on. Like, do something. Seems like the flagships just aren't that exciting anymore. So yeah, let me know if I missed anything, what you guys think. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.